The owners' meetings, talking to literally everybody. What are you hearing regarding Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson?
Yeah, a lot of chatter about Ty Simpson. Can he go in the first round? It doesn't sound like there's a ton of teams in the first round that are looking at taking him there. Anything is possible. Someone could trade back up, but while I think a lot of people out there want to know if Ty Simpson will be a first rounder, I can't find the team that would take him there. So I think he might be a guy that we're looking at maybe on night 2.
You are the third or fourth person who has said that to me almost exactly the same way. All of you who cover the league are hearing the same thing. Basically, the message I keep getting is teams say, yeah, I think someone will take him in the first round. Not going to be us,
right,
but we think someone's going to take him. And that's kind of what the conversation around Shedeur Sanders was
by this
last
point,
year.
or by the time the draft rolled around. Yes, absolutely.
No one is suggesting that Ty Simpson's going to fall to the 5th round, but perhaps fall out of round 1. Mike T, you're a general manager. Tell me what you think the likeliest scenario is.
Yeah, I have a dream scenario for you and your Jet fandom. So Jets take a pass rusher, let's say at 2. At 16, let's say they take a corner or receiver. Yeah. If you go back to what the New York Giants did last year, they traded up from the top of the 2nd round into the bottom of the 1st at 25. If the Jets ran a similar play and let's say took 33 and 44, their 2 second-round picks, Greeny, and let's say went to Chicago at 25 and took Ty Simpson, who can now sit for a year behind Geno Smith. Now you have 5 years. You have that critical 5th-year option. One of the concerns about Ty Simpson, Greeny, is he only played 15 games. So imagine if you're the New York Jets and you get a pass rusher, let's say a corner, Ty Simpson, and now you still have 3 first-round picks next year. I think that's a dream scenario for Ty Simpson, who could sit and the New York Jets.
If they do identify him as a guy they want,
right,
and you get him in the first round so that you get that extra year, that 5th year, to continue the development. The fact that we're seeing him get pushed down, Dominique, you made an interesting point this morning about one of the reasons that may be happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's the traditional wish casting that we do around the NFL draft for next season. I think a lot of teams are really excited about the quarterbacks in next year's draft. So I'm not so sure that Jets fans would be all that excited if they ended up with Ty Simpson, even if it was at the end of the first round, because I imagine that a lot of them are like a lot of the GMs that need quarterbacks, is next year's draft is always better than this year's draft, especially at the quarterback position.
I want to underline the last part of what you just said, because a year ago today, we were talking about the 26 quarterback draft class, and we were saying Cade Klubnik and Drew Aller and Garrett Nussmeier, and we're going to have 5 or 6 quarterbacks in round 1. And then here we are, and we're trying to figure out if we're even going to have a second one. I feel like this happens all the time. If you see the guy and you like the guy, you take him. This is actually something that one can bet on. Yeah. What is the prop on Ty Simpson?
Over under draft position 24.5. So if you bet the over, you believe he'll be selected 25th or later. If you like the under, it'd be 24th or earlier. Keep in mind, you have to pay a premium to bet the over. So the odds are telling you back end of the first round, possibly sliding out, as Graz was mentioning earlier. Favorite to land him right now, Arizona Cardinals plus 135, who have an early second-round pick.
Second pick in the round, yeah.
Again, Greeny, it's so consequential if we were running a team to get that extra year, especially if you don't think he's going to play in year 1. You really have the availability of that 5th-year option. Just it gives you another year to develop him.
At 24.5 is interesting because the Browns are at 24, right? And is that partly the reason you think?
Normally, when they set an over-under for a player like that, it's bang on where one of his targets could be. Last year with Shedeur Sanders, it was 21.5, which is right where Pittsburgh
was right there, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, at Cleveland, they took 2 last year. Like, it's hard to imagine, but, you know, quarterback makes people do funny things.
Cleveland.
Yes,
but the other obvious one to me, Greeny, is at 20.
Number 4 in the starting 5. The Raiders have agreed to deal with quarterback Kirk Cousins. Interesting move considering, look, we know Vegas is expected to take Fernando Mendoza, quarterback, Indiana, first pick next month's draft. Adam Schefter reports that Cousins' deal is guaranteed for only 1 year, but it's 11 years in a row. He's had a guaranteed contract, which is an NFL record. We bring in Tim Hasselbeck with us now. He's getting paid a lot. No state income tax in Nevada. This guy looks good. This looks like a move to help out, though, Hasselbeck, Fernando Mendoza's development. So what does Mendoza need to learn from Cousins if they, in fact, take him?
Well, Matt, that is exactly what this move is. And what Mendoza needs to do is basically be a sponge, soak up everything you possibly can from Kirk Cousins. And the reason I say that is Cousins is a master of this offense. He's been with Clint Kubiak in the past. He's played in a version of the West Coast offense pretty much his entire career. And he's got the battle scars. So there's the football side of it. And then there's a side of it about how to be a pro, how to be a franchise quarterback, which Cousins has been for a long time. How do you treat the people in the building? How do you lead? How do you, what is your relationship like with the offensive line, the receivers? How do you communicate with coaches? All of that stuff. Look, he's going to have a great example in Cousins. And so, and I think, in some ways, when you just look at both guys, just personality-wise, you would think they would work well together. So I think there's a lot to this that makes sense for the Raiders, makes sense for Cousins as he looks for an opportunity, and then also makes sense for the development of Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, I would say you applaud the Raiders for doing this. We don't see this anymore, Hasselbeck. We don't see the fact that maybe give your rookie time to develop, learn from a veteran. And I think Kirk Cousins still has some football left in him. What do you think?
Yeah, Matt, quickly to that point. Look, all three defenses in that division are really good. All three, other quarterbacks in that division are also really good. It's going to be hard for a rookie quarterback to come in and have success, especially on a roster that's rebuilding. And as for Cousins, you're exactly right. There's no doubt that guys that have played as long as he's played, they have a different type of chip on their shoulder in terms of when everyone else says that they are done, in their minds they're not. And I know that Cousins thinks that he can still play, and it would not surprise me to see him, go in there and give them a chance early in the season.
He told us as much at the Super Bowl when he sat down with us on SportsCenter. He's like, I've got a lot of football left. And so, look, applaud the Raiders. They made a great move today, and we'll see if it benefits them with two quarterbacks coming up in the future. Our quarterback, Tim Hasselbeck, thank you. Number 5 on the starting 5. We move to golf. And the Martin County Sheriff's Department in Florida releasing body cam footage of Tiger Woods' DUI arrest on Friday. He was put through a series of sobriety tests, and officers concluded that he was not fit to drive a vehicle and put him under arrest. This video was just released today of Tiger being arrested.
At this time, I do believe your normal faculties are impaired, okay, and you're under the unknown substance, okay? So at this time, you're under arrest for DUI. Yes, sir.
They then found 2 hydrocodone tablets in his pocket. Woods has pled not guilty and released a statement saying he will enter treatment. Yesterday, a Florida judge allowed him to leave the country for inpatient facility treatment. And this just into SportsCenter. 3-time Masters winner Phil Mickelson announced that he will skip next week's Masters tournament as his family navigates a personal health matter. This is the first time since 1994 that both Mickelson and Tiger Woods will miss the first major of the year. Coming up on the Happy Hour edition of SportsCenter, the Spurs were built for the future, but what if that future is now, like in the next couple of months? We're talking our Take 2. Plus, NFL teams are looking to the future, replacing legends through the draft. Our latest mock has some possibilities. Throw a couple rocks on it. SportsCenter, Happy Hour.